Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host and presenter, Advocate Tudoyan. This morning I want to look at Judge Ratha. The Senzo trial is one of the most famous criminal trials that ever took place in South Africa. It has attracted not only interest from the local media, but internationally. But tragically, the way it is being conducted, reflects poorly on the South African justice system, largely because of the publicity that surrounds it. You will recall that this case had an ill-fated false start with Judge Shifua Maumela. We now have it on record, and this is what the Judge President of the Gauteng Division disclosed during those disciplinary proceedings against Judge Shifua Maumela. That Judge Shifua Maumela had simply allocated this matter to himself. The only task that he was supposed to undertake was to case manage this matter, and when it is trial ready, he was supposed to report to the Deputy Judge President, and then in due course the matter would then be allocated to a judge. But once the case management process had been concluded, Judge Shifua Maumela simply just allocated this matter to himself. And at the end of it all, the judge president told those proceedings that there was nothing they could really do because witnesses were already there, and the whole thing was now in motion, in spite of the fact that Judge Shifua Maumela had so irregularly allocated the matter to himself. So in a sense, the Senzo trial has been ill-fated from the beginning. Along the way, we then saw Judge Shifua Maumela face those disciplinary hearings and was removed from the trial because in the first place he had allocated it himself. It had not been allocated by the proper authority, either the Deputy Judge President or the Judge President himself. So the trial had to start de novo or afresh. And it was a tragic development because Senzo died in 2014. And here we are in 2025, still struggling to get to the bottom of what really happened to Senzo and who was responsible for it. It is especially tragic for the Meiwa family because throughout all these years, for them, it has been a case of justice delayed is justice denied. So it was then that Judge Ratha came on board, and we all thought that things would move, in a far better way in terms of the way the case would be managed, and we're all expecting that there would be progress, especially like I've just said, in the way that the matter has been managed, because you'll recall that Judge Shifua Maumela was not in control of those proceedings. They had those run-ins with former advocate Malesa Latifo, and the focus now became, the frequent squabbles between Judge Shifua Maumela and former advocate Malesa Latifo, as opposed to the quest for justice for Senzo Meyiwa, which must at the end of the day be our real focus, not these other sideshows. So when Judge Ratha came on board, there was that optimism that all those things were behind us and would get along with the trial proper, dispose of it, and get some kind of closure for the Meiwa family. But unfortunately, the Senzo Meiwa trial continues to be, attended by a lot of unnecessary developments, which have got nothing to do with the trial itself. The side shows. The major focus of the trial now is on the judge himself, not on what the judge is supposed to be doing there. You see, everywhere you go, practically everyone has no confidence in Judge Ratha and the way in which he sent in that trial. We have seen how in the past he has made a lot of very unsavory comments about the black defense lawyers who are defending the accused. We have had the Black Lawyers Association intervene to seek an explanation why it is that Judge Ratha is behaving in the manner that he is behaving. I had it on good authority also that following his most recent outburst against Advocate Munisi, the Judge President is not at all happy with the way in which Judge Ratha is handling that matter, specifically those developments, when he denigrated not only Munisi as an officer of that court, but black lawyers in general and black people more specifically and more tellingly. So unfortunately, Judge Ratha now is, the show is about Judge Ratha now. The trial has become, Judge Ratha has made him the subject matter of the trial. It is not the quest for justice that we are all seeking, which is the major focus of everybody. Everybody now is focused on the judge. Following the latest outbursts about black lawyers and black people in general, there are moves now to haul him before Parliament for him to explain some of those utterances. The Pan-African Bar Association of South Africa has also come on board, and they are contemplating taking this matter to the Judicial Service Commission so that Judge Ratha can be properly disciplined. So unfortunately, when a judge is not supposed to hog the headlines like Judge Ratha is doing. This case has now become more about him than the search for justice for Senzo Meiwa. And that is very tragic, because once the public loses, confidence in a lawyer, in a judge, then the whole question of whether that judge brings an impartial and open mind to the determination of the issues before him comes into question. And once that public trust is eroded, it is the grass that suffers. It is the administration of justice in general that suffers. But more tragically, it is the Meiwa family that will forever be subjected to delay after delay, and it is very unfortunate that this sort of thing is happening. On social media, People are making a lot of posts on social media about the way Judge Ratha is conducting this trial. There's a lot of dissatisfaction. I get a sense that even ordinary people, are sick and tired of what they are seeing unfold in the Pretoria High Court, especially the manner in which that trial is being conducted. You see, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who is guilty or who is innocent. The most important thing in any criminal trial, especially one as high profile as this one, is the way in which it is being conducted. It must be seen to be conducted, by a judicial officer who brings an open mind to the matter and who is free from bias and all the other prejudices that we have seen unfold in this trial. But unfortunately, Judge Ratha does not possess those qualities. He has just proved himself unsuitable for the task at hand. So as we brace ourselves for the 17th, when the trial resumes, let us all bear this in mind, and how unfortunate it is that instead of, you know, focusing on the specifics of the case and the justice that we seek for Senzo, Judge Ratha now becomes the news himself. It's no longer about the trial, it's about Judge Ratha. Judge Ratha has simply become the news himself. Having said that, let me thank you for watching this video, and please like, subscribe, and share these videos, and don't skip those ads, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.